Greetings, children of the screen. Your friendly neighborhood nerd scum here once again, and today I wanted to take a minute to talk to you guys about Green Lantern Blackstars #1 by Morrison, Zermanico, and Olaf. And yes, I know, I totally, absolutely butchered those names. Right on, guys. So in terms of the basic plot for this book, we see Hal Jordan, who is now going by Parallax, who has teamed up with the Blackstars, and him and his partner go to the remains of Oa, or more specifically, like, the ruins of Oa and all of the, like, remaining prisoners that I guess were, like, trapped in the prison under Oa or something to that effect. And basically, they're all these horrible, monstrous beings, and they come and basically state that for Controller Mu and for the Blackstars, they will convert them. They will become Blackstars or they will perish. And after a lot of, like, pontificating, sure enough, like, she kills a couple of them and the rest of them join together, and they begin to basically unite and use these creatures to pull Oa out of the darkness from which it's been into, like, a more habitable part of space. From there, we go to Warworld, where we see the Blackstars engage with Mongol. And basically, once again, they take over Warworld. Mongol's completely overpowered. Hal Jordan's, like, partner, I'm sorry, I cannot remember this character's name off the top of my head. She basically feeds on him because she's like a vampire lady. I know I've read books that have her in it before, maybe the other Grant Morrison books, but anyway, she feeds on him. Like, Mongol's completely beaten, and eventually, like, he also joins them. And then from that point, we start to see, all of the Blackstars meeting together, preparing for the arrival of Controller Mu, or MU, or however you want to pronounce it. I'm saying Mu. I'm pretty sure that's the way it's supposed to go. So they're all getting ready, and at this point, Hal Jordan's partner reveals to him that Mu's ultimate goal is for Parallax Hal Jordan and for her to be wed so that they can, like, proliferate, if I could speak properly today, the Blackstars in his absence, in the absence of Mu. And then we basically see the planet that they have made, which is a paradise planet, and Mu arrive and basically announce the wedding of this lady and Hal Jordan Parallax. And that is our first issue of this book. Okay, guys, so first off, let me say, I'm a little bit behind on my Grant Morrison Green Lantern reading, and I kind of assumed that even though it's a continuation with this being a #1, there would be enough context provided in this book for me just to jump into this one. It is not the case. If you are not caught up on Grant Morrison's Green Lantern, do not try to jump into this blind, because you will be completely lost. It is just like, in the first few pages, they're just hitting you with, like, 20 names of new characters that have, like, 11 letters in them. And most of those characters haven't been set up, but if you've been reading the Grant Morrison Green Lantern, then you're already used to that, so it's going to flow a lot better. I am not familiar and was not aware of the fact that Hal Jordan had been, again, like, going by Parallax again. Now, mind you, there might be a big leap where, like, that book might have ended, and then this one starts like this, and eventually they will explain it, because it is Grant Morrison. So I'm at least interested to see where it goes, but I had no idea what was going on. But having said that, I did for the most part enjoy this book. The writing in the book by Grant Morrison is kind of typical Grant Morrison stuff. It has all the typical, like, Grant Morrison isms. So if you're not a fan of those, you're not going to like this book. Like I said, alien names with 11 letters that you've never heard of before, and you're going to have to keep track of all these characters. But at the same time, like, the story he is telling is pretty engaging. Like, there is enough mystery with what's going on with Hal Jordan for me, since I didn't read that other stuff, that I want to know what's going on. And the whole idea of them working for Controller Mu is, like, an interesting concept. I was a little put off by, in the book, like, they separated into 4 days, and originally I thought they were going to be, like, separating it into, like, 7 days to kind of, like, mirror the biblical creation, because they're talking about angels and demons. Like, everything is put into a real, like, heavenly, celestial, almost, like, religious context, so that was something I really expected, but it's just the 4 days, so I'm not sure. And this book ends with Hal Jordan, like, looking down on Earth, so I'm not sure if, like, Earth is his next conquest. When I first read the book, I had to go back, because for a second I was kind of confused. I was like, wait a minute, I thought they were on, like, Oa this whole time. Like, were they actually on Earth? As for the artwork in this book, it is really solid, and no, I'm not going to try to pronounce the let's go back. 1, 2, 3, go. So the artwork in this book is really solid. I'm not going to try to pronounce the artist's name again because you guys know, like, nope, not doing it. But the art is fantastic. It has a really great kind of modern day comic book style where like they kind of push the caricature aspects of the art a little bit further in places, but then in other places where they need to kind of pull back and do something a little bit more hyper real, the artwork totally works for that too, and the coloring definitely helps that throughout this book. One of my big issues with the Green Lantern book by Grant Morrison and Liam Sharp to begin with was that, like, while Sharp's art was amazing, the color in the book was awful for the first couple of issues. This book does not have that problem. Now, what I will say is that they're trying to cram so much into this one issue that there are definitely moments where, from panel to panel, there are definitely things missing. Like, whenever they arrive on Warworld and they take over Warworld, then all of a sudden there's just a cut to Mongol, like, on his knees, all weak and stuff, but they never show you how it got there, but there's clearly, like, what would account for, like, 2 pages of story missing in between. So, yeah, the art's really good. I really enjoyed it. And I don't know if that's more of a pacing issue or a space issue or something to that nature, but yeah, like, in terms of the sequential art, there are definitely some places where it falls short, but the artwork itself is definitely of good quality. And again, even though I was confused and completely lost for most of this book, I'm definitely going to be checking out the next one, so I highly recommend that you guys check this one out and see what you think. Let me know down in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, please leave a like and share it with some friends. Also, guys, if you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe so you can check out all the dope content I'll have coming out in the future. Furthermore, guys, I hope you all have a good one. Nerds Scum, out.